Finally.
Hey,
Finally.
This is Pretty Baby,
All right.
Jackson, and we're going to talk about the book. So, how are you doing today? And give us a little brief description about who you are and what you do.
All right. Well, good afternoon. First of all, thank you all for having me here. This is
Mhm.
just such a delight, and it's definitely a blessing. Definitely a blessing. And we got so much to talk about, and you will see why I'm so excited. But anyway, I'm from Chicago originally. Currently living in the state of Wisconsin. And when I say God got some things for me, it's like open up. You gotta talk about it, which is why Speak Up was kind of like born. But yeah,
Right.
I'm a single mom. I'm a grandmother. As you Gigi mentioned, I'm sorry, Booby mentioned in the past where I'm always on grandma duty. Yeah, I'm always on grandma duty. So I'm a busy grandmama. I'm gonna add that in there. As I mentioned, originally from Chicago. I work around. I make music. I write books. Do a little poetry here and there, whatever. So yeah, that's.
And I saw the reviews on your book and everything. I'm still waiting on mine to come. But let's talk about your book. Give us a title again, and let's talk about that in your
Okay.
life. Why you wrote the story.
Okay. Well, again, the title is Speak Up. In parentheses, the silence is deadly. It's available on Amazon. It's
Mhm.
available in paperback and hardback format. So, and soon will be available in ebook. So those who are don't have the convenience of opening a book and actually reading it physically, they can pick up their smartphone or whatever and just, you know how they do it. But yeah, so it'll be available in ebook. My book Speak Up is basically it's a how would I word that? You know how God chastises you, so it's kind of like a chastisement within itself. It's like at the time that I was going through the things that I was going through and experience, which is, mostly in the book. But anyway, at the time I was going to, we always have that woe is me attitude, etc. And in hindsight, I can see why God was taking me through these different things. And it's like, okay, so I was learning my lessons at the time and I was being chastised because I couldn't do anything but go through it and experience it, and like I said, not knowing why, but now I see why.
Yeah,
But yeah.
that's really good. But what compelled you to write the book and just read a little chapter from one of your chapters to the audience about one of your stories.
Okay.
I know this is traumatizing from looking at your reviews, and I understand that from the content of Amazon, everything was not put in your book. You want to talk a little bit about that also?
Okay. 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 Well, I'm trying to go back. You said to talk about the book. I'm gonna read a chapter from it. Before I do read a chapter, I did want to write what I did write.
Okay.
So it says, I don't know why I didn't have my book open to that page.
That's all right.
I am so
You know
sorry.
how we do. We open things up and get it done right there whilst we doing it. So we all do it. And I wanted to tell you, you look very nice. I
Very
like that
beautiful. Thank
whole thing
you.
you got going on.
Thank you.
Sparkling, glowing, diva, very demure.
Demore, thank you
Does
so much. I
everybody see
appreciate it.
that
You know,
word?
I
Very
have to look
demure,
good for my
very
lady.
cute. Yeah,
I couldn't come before my
very
two
good.
queens
Thank
without
you.
putting on that look, you know
Thank
what I'm saying? So it's
you.
in honor of you two, okay? And that's the honest to God
Thank
truth.
you. I was admiring some of your videos. I
Yeah,
saw the
thank
last one
you.
with the yellow wig on, and I thought that was like, wow,
Uh-huh.
you're very diverse. You're very
Uh-huh. Energetic and having fun
energetic.
and just having fun and living your best life through your videos. That's awesome.
I like that yellow wig.
Amen.
Hmm.
Amen. And that's the most part. I'm sorry. Let me cut you off. But that's the most thing. It's about having fun. You know what I mean? Whether it's doing a skit or doing some motivational speaking, whatever it is, it's me living my life out loud. And all while I'm doing it, I am having that fun. So yeah, I will
Hmm.
change up the character, change up the color of the wig, change up I have the skits with the I'm comical with my glasses looking just crazy with it. So I like to have fun and I do change it
Hmm.
up and I thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, well, while
And
you're
that's what
doing that, I'd like to go ahead and tag myself our producer, and the song that we wrote is called Precious God. It's by Flame
Yes.
Studio. The music was produced by Flame Studio. I wrote the lyrics to the song, and we have two fantastic people, Fernami and Afalabi, who are singing the song on the track. Available on YouTube, Amazon.com, mostly all of the online music platforms. But I just want to plug that in right now. We're getting ready to do a rap song pretty soon, so we're going to put that out. So, yeah, don't let the gray hair fool you.
Oh, rap
So,
on.
No, no, she didn't say don't let the gray hair fool you. But listen, okay, for that rap, yeah, count me in because that's one of my, I would say my specialty or whatever. Because I always say I don't have the voice to sing, and you know how they say, well, don't knock it until you try it. Don't always say that or whatever. But yeah, the rapping and whatever. So put me in. That's my little forte. But yeah, okay, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
thank you, Tay Money, for that. I saw for USA also the Booby Teller live
Hey.
page. Myself, Queen Gigi, and Booby Teller. Also, we have our very beautiful guest today, Miss Tamara Jackson, better known as Pretty Baby.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
we're
so
gonna
I
talk about
did.
it.
I'm sorry. I did find a page that I actually wrote last night. I said, in my book, I wrote about everything from childhood memories to trauma, mental illness, homelessness, and more. I even
Mhm.
wrote the details on when I attempted suicide twice. I was silenced by fear, but God obviously had a bigger and better plan for me. It's like God took my hand and guided me. So, really, God wrote the book. He just used my experiences. God
Mm.
says, I will go from being abused to being used. I was abused physically, mentally, and ultimately emotionally. I was so broken inside. It totally changed me as a person and it held me back. But by writing this book in particular, this is my way of setting myself free. Okay. So, honestly speaking, this is for you guys. Honestly speaking, as I said, I have so much to be grateful for and so excited. And this opportunity here today on your platform is one of which very much the opportunities that I'm excited about. And I'm getting a little emotional and I will crack the drop of a dime, but I'm gonna go there. But anyway, all of this is God's doing. It is. We got to give him his acknowledgement. We got to give God the glory. And this is what it is. So, and this is by no way saying, "Oh, I'm such a saint. I don't do this. I don't do that." No, God knows me. God used so many people who were not saints. He used Noah. He used Moses. He used David. He used Rahab. He uses people. And this is one of the things that I try to get through to my generation today to let them know that it's not. They'll say, "Well, you're not Esther or so and so and so and so and so." He can't use it. That's not true.
Right.
God will take the mud. God will take the mud and beautify it so much. And boom. Well, I know that you are some witnesses, so I know y'all know exactly what I'm saying. So,
Yes, you do.
Thank you for the story and coming from your heart because it takes a lot to just open up, and then it takes a lot to open up in front of strangers
yeah.
and in front of the whole world, especially knowing that we live in a time where everybody's just judgmental and pointing the finger, and they would rather take a downfall or a down part of somebody's story and throw it at them and use that as, a campaign smear to uplift themselves. So we
Exactly.
appreciate you and we thank you for coming on and open up
Got me.
to us. Look, you got us crying. Charles, bring me some tissue. And that's what we do. We cry together because we
Amen.
truly believe in the stories that people tell. And
Yeah.
when you've been through like circumstances and hurtful situations and you hide it and then you live in the darkness of
Exactly.
your life, it alters you to the type of person you become. But then when you get that confidence and that courage,
Rise
and
up.
then you know that God is with you, that you can tell your story
Yes.
and it can help so many other people,
Mm-hmm.
women and men, both alike, because we're learning that men go through stuff too.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
they can
Exactly.
Yes.
respond
Well, you
and
said
Yes.
you
feel
were
what
from
you're saying
Chi-Town,
as
so
well.
let me ask you. I don't want to get too personal with it, but from Chi-Town, I'm talking about Chicago, ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know what that is. So you were in Chi-Town. Did all of these things evolve in Chi-Town? Was it over a period of time? that you experienced all of this traumatic stress? Were you younger? Were you older? Were you teen or kid? At what point in your life did all these things
Yes,
occur?
yes, yes, definitely. And I love it. Thank you for the question. Because I love it when someone leading me because sometimes I can get lost. But yeah, mostly all of it is definitely accumulated and experiences that happened when I was a younger child. Actually, it started as a child and it just grew, because I was like 8 years old when my uncle molested me. And glory to God, I'm strong now. But anyway, I was 8 years old at that time, and then I lost my father at the age of 9. So there's more trauma, and then Chi-Town. I don't know. Well, like a lot of people have heard, yes, Chi-Town is very ruthless,
Yeah.
very. So I was walking across dead bodies, and not just laying on the street or anything like that, but every other day, someone close got killed, someone that we knew, someone on the next block, someone, you know what I mean? So it's like you already, like I was taught, like you already bound by that fear because you
Right.
can't walk to this corner store. You can't do this. You can't do X, Y, Z, whatever. So I'm already bound by the fear. Then on top of it, and I got, like I said, the molestation. I got my father passed. So it's all different things, but it all started when I was a child.
Right.
And then, coming on up, even through my teen years, which is when I was more suppressed by fear and not really even knowing it. But that's when it came out the promiscuous behavior that brought about me, what they call searching for love in all the wrong places. It brought about me not being able to stand my ground or voice my opinion or even have an opinion,
Right.
just not being able to say, well, we're having peanut butter and jelly tonight. Me knowing inside, I don't want peanut butter and jelly, but I didn't have that voice to say, well, mama, I don't want that. I want something different. So
I'm sorry. Go
oh
ahead.
no, I was
Go
just
ahead.
going to say to top it off, it all started off from the child on up through my, all up through my years, and it's like within the last 2 years is when God set me down and started turning the page, lining it up, making it make sense to me. Like, well, this is why that, and that's why that, and I mean, it's like so powerful. And just right quick, I'm gonna jump, but then I'm gonna come back. But anyway, he even used he even he even used TD Jakes to guide me some of the way and preparing this book and writing this book. And I just put that like God working mysterious ways. Um, right quick, I do want to mention Huey, the director Huey. God worked in mysterious ways, and I had no idea that by me watching a live and listening to you guys interviewing him and the details that he was dropping jewels. You hear me? I was so in
Yeah.
tune. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
But
He,
the reason
he
to mention it, and
was.
it's not about clout, it's not about name drop or anything. But again, like I say, when you realize that who it is that's in control and who's doing it, who's pulling the strings, then you're like, oh, you can't deny it. You can't deny it. Everything happened for a reason. When he mentioned Mace, I remember when Pastor Mace prayed over me. He
Exactly.
prophesied, and it's like, whoa, okay, God, what you doing? I don't know what you're doing, but I know
Okay,
you're
well,
doing something. So
I
I'm
was
just gonna
gonna
follow.
say
But I'm sorry, go ahead.
within the realm, you said it's all happened in Chi-Town. So, did you ever go to any therapists or psychiatrists or people to help you along the way? Was it hard, or did you deal with this just by yourself?
I did. I did. At first, I didn't know what was going on. I was around maybe 12 years old when I was diagnosed with PTSD. And because, I would just stay depressed. Now, this is as a child. You're depressed. You're not knowing what's going on. What 10, 11-year-old child don't want to go outside and play and, so that's one of the major times or whatever I had to say. But anyway, I eventually started seeking help when I was like in my early 20s. And once I start seeking the help, is like, I don't know. It's like, how the saying is, it gets worse before it gets better, or the darkness before the dawn, or whatever. So it's
Right.
like, even though I had started getting the veil lifted or my eyes started to open, but it was like God was like, oh, you ain't seen nothing. You got more to see.
Right.
So he took me
Right.
through more.
Right.
And it's like, how the saying goes, like, it's not how you react. No, it's how you react anyway. It's about how you deal with something.
Right.
So now that I know these things is going on with me, it's like, how am I finna deal with these things? Now, it wasn't always a, you know what I mean, easy
Right. That's
peasy
easy
thing, but
going.
no. But
Yeah.
yeah, I sought to help, and I'm
Because when
actually
you
going through
hear
a month of treatment now.
PTSD, you only really heard that actual PTSD from the Army and from the service. So when you hear people having PTSD, you think, oh, they must have been in the service. They must have been in the military or some kind of police type of scenario.
Right.
So then when you hear a child has it at such a young age, you know, that goes to show you that all kinds of things happen to people at all ages, and you might not be diagnosed at that time. But then now you're 20 years old, you're bouncing off the walls, people are looking at you and they don't know why, because back then there was help, but if you didn't know that there was help, you didn't know what to do.
Exactly.
And then when you did get help, you hiding because you don't want people to know that this is what you're going through. So
Exactly.
it's part of those generational curses as well, because you said things happened to you as a child. As a child, you held on to those secrets and held them inside. And I'm not a psychiatrist, y'all. Y'all know that I think I know a lot, but I'm not a psychiatrist, but I know a little bit of stuff. And then as a child from 8 to 12, that period of just holding on to that secret, that thing that happened, you can't tell nobody. What am I gonna do? You know, I'm hard. I actually had to go get some tissues and the towel because those are like everybody's stories. Everybody has those type of stories, and it just takes somebody with courage to start talking. And then it runs in the whole. You know, everybody crying over here, so we all have similar stories as female, where things happen when you're younger, and then next thing you know, you're 12, you're 15, you're out of control. But thank God you was able to say, you know what? At your young age, going through the loss of the family member, I need help. You see, not many people will agree to go get help or even admit that they need help. So we applaud you for being 12 and saying, I gotta
What?
go get some help.
Honestly, it wasn't that it was actually an incident that actually forced me to go get the help that I didn't know that I needed. But I was well, no, let's go back. At 12 is when I was experiencing, and I didn't know what was going on. But like I said, in my early 20s, I went to the emergency room because I had my not disassociation, but I was having a panic attack.
Oh,
And I didn't
okay.
know what was going on. It's like I always feel like I'm dying. So anyway, I was rushed to the emergency room, and I seen another young lady having a panic attack. But the way that they were talking to her, calming her down, like you okay with them, I'm like, how do they know? But anyway, when the doctor see me, the neurologist let me know, well, this is the panic and this and that. I'm like, oh. But then I realized that I was having a panic attack because of my depression that I did develop at 11 and 12 years old. So I kind of like, yeah. So at that point, I was like, keep on looking. So and then I would fall out from like not fall out, but like fall back from getting the help that I received. But thank God I know my body. I know me. So when I say I'm doing bad, I feel I'm doing bad, and now it's time to go back and get that.
Get yourself to the right place instead of harming your own self or harming someone else, because you're going through it. So that's a very good, and everybody that's watching, these are so important things that she is saying, that once you know that, okay, I got some issues, and it's getting ready to rev up,
Yeah.
go get that help. So that's so important that you know how to do that for your own self
Right.
and the safety of other people at the same time. Because when people don't know someone is going through something, and then someone approaches them that's going through something, now everybody's going through something, because it can turn to the left at any direction. So
Exactly.
it's very good when you know,
Yeah.
ooh, time out, y'all.
Yeah.
Time out. I got to go ahead and get to
Yes.
the people.
And you know, and
The
it's
clinics and
go ahead.
everything. And also for
I was
people
gonna say
that
there
if
is
you have friends, to watch out for those people who are acting irrational because there's something going on with them that they probably can't understand, as Booby was talking about earlier. And with you, Pretty Baby, it's amazing how you went through all of these changes at, you know, all the years that you suffered from the time that you started to become molested and everything. So I really applaud you for your bravery. I applaud you for your strength. I applaud you for being you, because PTSD not only happens with just the military, it can happen at any time, any
At any
lifestyle,
age.
at any age. So I
right.
really, really commend you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. I kind of lost my thought, but no, I was just gonna
I'm
say,
just proud
going
that
back
you
to
went and
what,
got help and knowing the signs of your own
On
self
self, right.
to say, you know what, I got to take a time out. Let me go check myself
right,
before, you know, it gets to be a problem.
right.
And, you know, because
I know
yeah, it
exactly.
could be a big problem.
Yeah,
You can be
I
like
know.
people
I
and be
got
able
it.
to just blow up.
Yeah, I thank you, because that's exactly what you guys were just talking about. And as I have my experiences, which is also a tale I shared in the book. I can't find exactly what it is, but because I went through it. But anyway, I remember when I had just come out of being homeless
Mhm.
for almost a year. This was my first time being homeless, and I had my 3 kids, and So anyway, we finally got into our place, and of course,
Mhm.
I still have my residue of my my episodes or whatever, because I have not been taking my meds. I have not been getting the treatment I needed. So now I'm still
Mhm.
kind of, if you could imagine,
All
how
over
to
the
say, a
place.
wire, a loose wire,
Mhm.
however. And I did have neighbors, and they would like trigger me. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, they don't know what's going on with me, but I know what's going on with me.
Right,
But
right.
and then they constantly like in my face, messing with me, triggering me, whatever. So then a lot of police contact and all that stuff or whatever. And I had the police experience, and
Wow.
hog tie and all the stuff or whatever. But then I'm thinking in hindsight, like, wow, only if I had gotten the treatment that I needed.
Mhm.
But I also say this, the what I can say, it would be good for
Right.
people to know, and to know that there are triggers out there. There are people out there going through things. There are people, need to be better trained with how to deal with people with PTSD, particularly the police, because
Mhm.
you can run up on somebody who is having an episode, and you think they just out there just wilding out, and they actually really going through something mentally,
Going
and they
through
can't.
something.
Yeah,
Right.
you can't control
Right.
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Been through
And
a
So
it's
yeah, I
whole
crazy
have
lot.
because
experience.
from a young
And
age up
you sound like
into adulthood, and
Right.
what you just said was so important because, sometimes you could even run into police officers and peace officers
Exactly.
that know
Mm.
you
Hmm.
and they know how to talk to you, and then they become friends. But what happens sometimes is the shift change. A new
Yeah.
set of officers come on. The new generation that don't understand the dynamics of life and some
Yeah.
stuff that they don't know.
Yeah.
Then they see this person who's they're looking at, oh, that person is crazy. They acting erratic, and the first thing they want to do is stun gun you or shoot you. But there was a time where
Mm.
not blaming police, I'm not blaming no healthcare worker, where there was a caring from people that sometimes they could recognize, oh, that person ain't just wilding out. That
Hmm.
person has something wrong with them, and they know how to talk people down now.
Yeah.
So I've heard that
I wish
with
that was
police
around.
stations and fire departments, they do have special units now that come out and try to talk to a person before a taser or a shot comes
Hmm.
out, because look at all of those things that happened to people that had already been killed and passed away because they was under the assumption of, oh, N word is crazy,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and they took for granted, or not knowing, not granted, they took for not knowing, lack of communication,
And
lack of
fear,
knowledge, fear.
fear.
You see somebody acting crazy, screaming in the
And not
street,
understand.
You
Understanding.
know, you don't got time to say, oh, you got an emotional problem, and you don't have time to say, oh, I got an issue, y'all. Watch out. You see, it just is
Right.
a big explosion. So we're happy that you was able to get through all of that. But
Mhm.
look at you
Yeah.
now. Look where God has brought you to now.
Amen.
You're out here
The one
writing
thing,
books, and
the
you
one
got
thing,
speaking that you're doing.
yes.
Congratulations.
But
One
let me
thing
say
I was gonna say,
one moment. I'm sorry. I have a family of police officers, so all police officers are
I
not
know.
bad. No, we don't want anybody to get the wrong
Right,
impression
right.
because I know she's not talking about all of them, but I just want to say what we do have respectful police officers in our
Mm-hmm.
cities and around the world. It's just some of those who are just they're for fear,
Right.
And then
Lack of
there's a lot of
knowledge.
racial inequalities.
Yeah.
That person that was hired.
Yeah.
So, we just want to clear that up. But you do, if you don't understand the situation and you see somebody with PTSD or schizophrenia or something like that, and they're coming at you, use caution, but don't kill them.
Ooh, amen. 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 You are so right. You
Right.
are so right.
Culture, don't kill them. We're going to
Yeah.
write that down.
Okay, look at you dropping jewels. And that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I meant to cut you off. But that's what I was about to say. Is like you say, look at me now. It is the thing, like I said, look at me now. God, it's all because God set me down. It was all because
Mhm.
I paid attention and
Right.
I allowed him, like, okay, because when all the stuff was going on, it's like, oh, it's just going on. But like now, I realized, oh, all that was
Mm-hmm.
for a reason. It was all God. Like I said in the beginning, you know how is the word say, God chasing whom He loved. He's going to chastise you. You may not like it, but in hindsight, when the lesson is over with, you can sit back like, that's how you pass those tests. But
Right.
I'm saying, like, look at
Yes,
me
the
now.
trials
Look
and
at me now. Yeah,
tribulations.
I got out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where the enemy thought that he was going to take me out during that process. He
Right.
thought that he was going to win and triumph and everything else. But now it's like, okay, God say, okay, that's enough for that.
Right.
Here, this is why. Yeah, I love that. That's why I love the story of Abraham and all that stuff. Yes. So yeah,
Right, right. And
Exactly.
like
I
we
take
see
nothing.
them
All
say,
this is
you never
God.
know when somebody's going through something. And that's
Exactly.
exactly true. You never know
You never
when
know.
somebody is going through something.
Exactly.
And when you don't know how to help somebody. And we're such a judgment world. And then we're also on the caution
And
side
caution side too.
as well.
Exactly.
We're
Right.
thinking of ourselves as well and protecting our own selves.
Right.
And then sometimes, we have family members that go through
They go
stuff.
through
So
things.
you deal with it on that level
Yeah.
when you have cousins and sons and family members, and you deal with them too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's why that understanding and the tears come from. It's not,
Yeah.
oh, let's just sit down and all cry. It was
Yeah.
an understanding and a
Yeah.
moment of, you know what, I've been through the same thing, and
Hmm.
I know that path that you walked, and
It's like
it's
how you
survival.
gonna deal.
It's a survival. You
It
have to
is.
survive because you got other things coming to you. Your mind starts talking to you to keep
Exactly.
you safe in a safe place, and you having 50 conversations, and people don't know. Somebody might come by and just interrupt one of them, and you like, look, there.
I'm trying to tell.
And then good thing that we can I'm glad
Neglect.
we can laugh about these things later on and look back at them and write a book about the
Mm,
story and
mm,
let other people know you ain't alone.
exactly. Ooh,
Baby,
exactly.
to get
Exactly.
yourself into a new frame because we see you out with the senior citizens and everything, and we see that you're having fun. We
Hmm.
see you doing a whole lot of things.
Okay.
So, when was the cutoff time for you when you stopped? When you wrote your book, was there a cutoff time for all those memories? You stored them away, or do you have nightmares and memories sometimes about that?
I used to have nightmares and bad feelings about it before I wrote the book.
Mhm.
But now it's like after I done wrote the book, now I realize it's like let me say this. You know how you sometimes you be like, well, I want to write the book, but then it's like I wrote the book, but I don't really want people to read it now. But it's like I'm free now. I don't care. You read it, you're gonna read it. You're gonna read the truth. You're gonna read my truth. You're gonna read. You know what I mean? So it just is what it is. But yeah, I did. I used to struggle with it a lot But like I said, my freedom came when God say, okay, it's time to do that one right there. But because I've written books in the past, but it just wasn't like this, you know. God, this is like, this is me. You know how
Right.
you do the self introduction or you're introducing yourself. Well, this is me, but this is me. But
Right.
yeah, I used to struggle it, but let me see. Cut off time. I still do what, like you say, I party with my seniors. I love my cougars. Yeah, that's what they are. They're cougars. Currently, I'm helping with like a PPC campaign. So I try to keep myself involved in some things or whatever. Otherwise, I will fall back into a depression. But yet, like I said, I do know how to get help or how to turn things around. And most of anything, which is before mental health, before anything or whatever, I got God. So if I am starting to go into a place, then it's like, okay, God, well, you know what this is. I know what this is. It's time to get me up out of here. But yeah, I just try to keep myself busy and try to stay involved with different people's life, because just like you say, I've been through it. Maybe I'm going to help somebody else. It could be someone who's older than me, and they never knew how to deal with that thing. But see, I'm going to plant in you what it is that God wants me to plant in you, and we're going to work it out.
Right. You're gonna bundle with the big book.
All right, I'm gonna run with the They need someone to tell their story. You see, because sometimes people can't be that front person on the field, but they can be in the crowd of the people that go through it and feel, look, somebody's speaking for me. Somebody is releasing my story, and then for everybody, we have to release those stories, because when we finally do let them go, it's an uplift to our own self, because we're living with the baggage and we're living with the pain, and we got to keep reliving certain scenarios in our mind, over and over, So writing a book is good therapy at the same time that I might not can come and tell you exactly what you did to me, but here, read this book.
Read it.
And read chapter 9, verse 12, paragraph 2 is about you. So, read the book, and then people can get a better understanding.
Right.
And once I let it go and out, guess what? Either you with me or you not. Because if you're going to throw it up in my face, then you on the with not side. But if you with me and you see me going through something, call me sometime. Ask me, you okay? Now that you okay, girl?
Exactly. Well, see,
That's all it takes is those few simple words. You okay? And then if somebody's not, when you volunteer yourself as the shoulder to lean on, because I'm always saying, "Ooh, tell me about it." Don't close the door when they come running to tell you, because they're looking at you as a person that you said, "Come through if you need me." So on that side, if you ain't that person and you ain't for real, don't tell somebody that, because
that's
they
true.
looking
That's
for
true.
you to listen that day, and you talk about, I'm still sleeping.
Actually, two sides to that. At one minute, you can feel that's how I actually deal with my thing. With one minute, you can feel like you're on top of the world. You can take on anything. You can take hearing someone else's, problems. You can actually be there. But then, actually, when you go through your own stuff, you're not able to be there anymore, whatever. So, but what I was about to say, they may come calling you and you're not available. Maybe you're afraid. Maybe you're not who you thought you were. And I go through that a lot. But at the same time, I don't pout about it. I don't cry about it no more. I just know that is simply just a test. And I just get over it the best way that I can. So a lot of times, and I know I read something about that. Anyway, sometimes we suffer in silence just to, not deal with the ridicule, the rejection, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes we just suffer in silence. And I know I do that a lot, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'll reach out. I'll talk. I allow this. A lot of times it's easier to shut down than to face your fears or stand up and be strong. And I know that I do that as well. It's easier for me to just not be in touch with nobody, not to talk to nobody because I'm going through. And that may be a little selfish, but just one of the ways that I do deal with it. But that's something that I'm working on like
Mm-hmm.
You
mastering.
know,
You know.
as G Sweet was saying, something is going through. What is it? Someone is going through in this world a lot of trials and tribulations.
Hmm.
But despite all of that, what are your aspirations, your hopes, and your dreams for the future? I know you said you wrote books before you, and we can talk about those books if you want to bring up some of the subjects real quick. But basically, what are your aspirations? What do you want to do from this day forward?
Okay, okay. Well, of course, I want to continue to write. I still want to continue to. I want to at some point be able to mentor people, but I do know that I have to get to a place now. There's not to say I have to be perfect, because when we ever be perfect, we will not be perfect. God say I can use you now. I'm be used now. But anyway, I want to continue to write. Whether it be poetry, books. I would like to, like I said, at some point mentor. I still, play around with my music. I
Mhm.
want to do something with my music. I want to eventually convert some books to film or stage play, etc. I just want to
Mhm.
I feel like this. The sky is the limit.
Right,
I
right.
reach for the sky, and it's like I just want to just keep on reaching, and wherever God say, "Hey, you got to keep going until this your cutoff switch." Until my cutoff switch comes, I want to do
Exactly.
So the
that.
cutoff switch comes. For right now,
Exactly.
it's
Right
only a
now.
test that you're going through.
I might get
It
my
won't
keyboard.
last always.
You're right. You're right.
Just to make you strong. Without a little bit of rain, it just won't grow. So stand still, keep the faith, realize it, don't give up. It's only a test you're going through. Hey!
Okay, we're in
All
church now.
right.
That's
Green
Gucci.
tea, but the bottle's over there.
The bottle coming out. Anyway, just kidding. But
Woo,
we
I
really,
was
we
doing that.
really appreciate you. And it's like Booby has gone through some things. I know that my goddaughter, G Sweet, has gone through some things. A lot of people that I know have gone through some things, especially with the rape, the molestation, all of these ugly things that people don't want to talk about today. But see, women suffer just like men do.
Yes.
Men
Yes.
suffer too because they go through the same thing, but you very seldom hear them talk about it. But with you, I really commend you on coming on the show today. And you're watching Cookie Girl _USA with Queen Gigi and Booby Taylor and
Mm-hmm.
Michelle, Moore in the box, G Sweetums in the box. So we want to thank you so much, Pretty Baby, because
Thank
I respect you and I honor you. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that you are a beautiful queen.
thank
And I really appreciate the content that you bring. And I
Mm-hmm.
really appreciate you just being a loving person just like you are.
Right.
thank
And your style is
thank you.
original and it is your own style, your skits and what you go through. And if that helps you, we're all down for it. And that's the advice that people need to take as well.
Okay.
Do you.
Yeah.
Do you.
Yes.
Do you. The
Yes.
world do you. And we appreciate all that you do. I be looking at the skits. I be like, what this girl doing now? You got the hats, you got the wigs, you come in all styles and colors and flavors, and
Yeah.
you just got a whole lot of stuff that's going on,
Yes.
and it's funny. And
And
if you're in the
if
down
you
mood, what I
just
do
pull
want
up
to
her
say
page
is,
and you
sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
You had posted one time that
Yeah.
you had lost your brother,
Yeah.
and then you had lost him the next year after losing
Yes.
another brother
Yeah.
previously. So
Yes.
that's a
Amen.
lot that you go through right there,
Yes.
So
Yes. Amen.
yeah.
God is good. Even now, I actually made a post about it on TikTok. Like, don't judge me. Don't
Mhm.
judge me. Because I
I
use
saw
my
that.
TikTok as my escape. That's my
What
go-to
did I
place when
say?
I want to feel better. When you know what I mean? I'm dealing with those things, recently it's new. But that's how I choose, not choose, but that's how I can stay strong
Right.
and being happy. But so
Exactly.
if anybody know, if you can be happy doing TikTok or anything or whatever, doing
Mhm.
whatever, just be
Right.
happy, regardless.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And Arthur Mason here, she has the Lord's Prayer and Illusion. She's saying that you're her cup of tea, and we really thank you, Taneki, for that T1 as we call her. We really appreciate. See, everybody appreciates you and
Yeah,
what you're
that
doing,
story
guys,
is so
because
powerful.
she's
Oh, I didn't notice
you know
that.
she's on
Hey.
She's
Thank you,
going through
Shanae.
she's going through the same thing. Her and her twin were going through the
Yeah,
same things, you know. So
and that's
all these
funny.
things, all these things, including G Swit, she went through the same things too. Booby went through the same
That's
things
right.
at a life.
All
You know,
relatable.
all
Right. And
relatable.
that's how we connect so well
Exactly.
together because the story is one. That one story that we all share. We might have went down different paths,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
but it's the same
Yeah,
story. It might have happened at different ages,
yeah,
but it's the same
yeah.
story. And we thank you for bringing it out.
Okay.
You know, even though everybody's story is different because you suffered a whole different way than I had suffered or whatever, but we all suffered together.
Yes. Amen.
And we are
Amen.
down
God is
here.
good.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
we are for you.
exactly. And I
But I
was a bully.
appreciate it.
You know, I was a bully.
Oh, she was the bully. That's why she's doing that. She was the bully person growing up. So now she's seeing
Whoa!
what her bullying caused people. Yeah,
That's
so
what
that's
it's
a
called,
most
to
of
fight
the
back.
time because of
Then,
you, bully.
you hear me? It ain't bullying no more. It's the fight back. You teaching queens how to
Right,
fight back.
Mariah needs to fight back. Exactly, because whatever trials she had to go through that
Yeah.
made her be like that
Bully.
bully at that time.
Yeah.
You know, people go through whatever. You know, I
Exactly.
got quiet. I became shy. This is the not today, but this is the most I've ever spoken in my life. You know, because
Woo!
I was in the Shy Girl Club.
I
I
did
really
that.
was. I was in the Shy Girl Club.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, then look, and
Okay.
then when I came out of the Shy Girl Club, I was the leader of the nerds. So I really thought I was it because, you know, I had the little nerdy friends, little smart.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we thought
And then I was just so quiet
she
and
does a good
shy.
too.
But what happened
Really?
was my husband was a musician.
Okay.
And because of music and being background singers to a lot of artists when we was recording, that seemed to have brought me out. And then I wanted to know their stories. So that's how the interview started, me talking to the artists that used to come to the studio. And that gave me a voice and
Okay.
put me like on that platform of that. But then when I hear powerful women like you telling your stories and stuff and putting it out there on the front line and
Thank you.
saying, this is me. Mine is coming next, y'all. My book is coming out.
Come on,
Get
come
ready to get
on, come
it out.
on, come on with it, come on.
Yes, the Lord said, get it out, girl. Get
Yes,
it out.
indeed.
Let
Right
us
quick,
know
I
what
want
we
to say this. Right quick, I want to say
let
this.
them know why I get crazy and why you be acting up. It's that story you didn't tell them yet. And then, you know, what the people feel or understand, you know, we let it out. Whew. It's all about shoulders, not
I
about
want
you. That's what we
to
want
say this right
everybody.
quick. You on whatever it is that director Huey got. I'm just gonna call him Huey. Whatever
Uh-huh.
Huey got playing, I'm definitely looking forward to whatever it is because I want to see you girls just
Yes.
let it go.
So we get ready to be in the movie.
So you want a bummer with a big ball?
That part.
So,
That
and,
part.
right, and make sure you check out his page, Director Huey. He's got an event coming up next month in September, October. He's got a filmmaking screening that we're invited to, and we get to meet the special guests in his movie
Oh,
as well.
I want to
So,
be there.
right, we're moving on up.
Right quick, I want to shout him out one more time because again, I always take everything. I'm gonna make it quick, but I always take everything back to God. Now, like I was mentioning, he mentioned Mace, Pastor Mace, Mason Bethea, but he pastored at a church in Phoenix, Arizona years ago. I went to that church. He prophesied over me. He said that the
Right.
woman will be doing, he said, paperwork, just keep falling. So I have not stopped writing yet. So I want to give him, like, shout out Huey for mentioning Mace. I want to shout out Mace for doing what he did in my life, but God used him and all this stuff. But anyway, I just want to say,
Right.
I wrote
It's
down in the
all
book,
connected and connect all back to bringing us all together. And
all
like you
together.
said, it all
Small
connects
world.
back to God. It all starts with him in the beginning and it ends with him in the end. And we'd like to
Full
thank
circle.
everybody that came on and joined us today on Cougarville_USA. And we want to give a big shout out to What's Up Prettybabyjackson for sharing her story, putting her life out there for all of us to hear it, see it, judge it, love her, and know that that's where her story is. And you can support her by buying her book on Amazon.com. Buy her book, support her, DM her if you need some more information on how to get it. She's on TikTok, she's on Instagram, she's on all streaming platforms, Facebook. Make sure you go check her out and continue checking us out on Cougarville on Saturday. Queen Gigi 10:15, myself, the real Booby Taylor, and G Sweetums who be in the box. We're out here on Saturdays. Also, Gigi, she has Positive Connection page where when you want to talk about some things, you can call her up and set appointments because she's a certified licensed coach. She has license in this, and whatever you discuss with her never will be revealed on any show or I don't know. So whatever y'all call her up and talk about, that's between you and her. She also has the artist law, which is now including the younger generation. Her grandson and his crew of friends is getting ready to start a young page with young adults expressing their feelings and views in life. And then y'all know I'm just Booby Taylor. Type in Booby Taylor, the real Booby Taylor, and you'll find me on platforms worldwide. And I'm getting ready to come up with the Groove page, Booby's Groove, where it's not about interviews, it's just about just personal little things. Because, you know, once we start putting our life on the line out here, we want y'all to know it all. But we still keep stuff sacred to ourselves. You don't know everything, but you know enough to know why we are how we are.
Exactly.
And when we're coming.
And what we represent. And I also I'd like to say to my great grandson Limbo, the page that we're talking about, Pretty Baby, is we're gonna talk. I'm gonna try to generate some kids to come on the artist talk, and we're gonna be talking about life as they see it now, the future for them, what's happening with them, the bullies in the schools, and all these sort of things like that. That's in the making. And also, I want to congratulate all the kids out there who are now taking the initiative in the elementary schools, not really making fun of the people with disabilities, the children with disabilities, because I worked with children with disabilities for a long, long time in the board of education. So learning to understand the problems that these kids have and not trying to knock them, you know, it's all what you said too. It's all about life, Pretty Baby. And it's all about living and giving. So we really want to appreciate that. And you can hit me up on Positive Connections and I'll be able to work with you. I am certified and it will not go anywhere. It'll stay private. Okay. You can sign me up and get me up if it goes out anywhere.
Right.
But I want to say reputation is what men and women talk about. Character, what God and the angels know about. You're watching Cougarville_USA with Queen Gigi, Booby Taylor, and Michelle Moore. And our guest today is the lovely, beautiful, amazing, diverse Miss Pretty Baby from Arizona.
All right, y'all. This is the real Booby Taylor, and we're getting ready to sign out of here. And just always remember the sun is shining, and so are you. And if no one told you today, we want to tell you and add on telling you that we love you, we care about you, and y'all have a great day, a blessed day, a safe weekend. And if you're out there drinking, just remember, have a designated partner to be driving, take an Uber, or just stay home and drink. That's what you would know for that type of behavior because the holiday is coming. And if not, read a good book. Read What's Up Pretty Baby's book. Get a copy of that.
Hold your book up one more time.
Hold your book up so everybody can see the cover. And let them know that, yes, make sure that you go out there and get a copy of the book. What's the book title?
Silence is Deadly.
Silence is Deadly. It's on Amazon. That's how you can support her, by getting a copy of the book and DM her if you got some questions about PTSD. And if it's not too much or overwhelming for her, you know, and she wants to talk about things, just DM her and find out more about the book and how you can get it. And we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. And we'll see y'all next Saturday.
Well, let me throw in real quick, Flame Studio. If you want some music made, you want some beats made, also check out Flame Studio. He's Timmy Tope Vincent. He's on Instagram. You can check him out, or you can hit him up through his text messages. And also, Pretty Baby, if you're doing beats and anything, let the people know too. So whatever you're doing, if you can rock those beats, I got a keyboard. I need to practice on mine again. I kind of like out of the thing. But anyway, like she said, we really appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you so much. And we'll see you again soon.
Okay. God bless y'all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.